drive it all the way, just gash them all the way down the field.
What's up, everybody?
And then miss a 30-yard field goal. Doinked it.
Doink.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess my question is, when is Manny Diaz getting toasted?
I don't know. He's technically in his third year, in his third game.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, he's got
toast.
He's got 2 recruiting classes that are his. But, I mean, the talent he has on the field is better than the talent that he's losing to. So, I don't know. There's a bunch of rumors that he'll be gone by Monday.
Oh, damn.
But I don't believe any of that bullshit because the same people that are saying that said some even stupider shit last week that turned out to not be true. So the latest rumor is that he is going to become the defensive coordinator at USC.
You know what's not stupid?
What's that?
A Night at the Opera.
Is it?
Isn't it?
I think it's supposed to be stupid.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, it's supposed to be stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, mission accomplished.
Josh, I'm going to need you to go ahead and fix your lagging. All right?
Am I really lagging?
Yeah, you really are.
God damn it.
You're lagging 10 milliseconds. I'll be back in 11.
See, Dave, that's infinitely more funny when you say it.
Oh, I know.
Oh, God.
This movie was great. No, it wasn't.
It wasn't, dude.
I think I got a score.
You think you do?
Yeah, I think I do. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in there. I'm cool. I have the benefit of being able to look at the other movies on our list.
So did I.
All right.
I think it came down to, is it better or worse than Swing Time?
I don't know. We're going to get into that shortly, but we did get a request from one of our faithful listeners out there that we cover the new Netflix show Squid Game.
Never heard of in my life.
Yep. Shout out Jonah. Thank you for that recommendation. Jason probably wants to thank you as well because he fucking didn't stop watching the show once he started it. He's down 5 episodes in one day, but it takes him all week to watch an AFI movie. But whatever.
Yeah. I had seen the preview. I had watched a little Netflix preview for it. And I was like, that looks pretty cool. Like it was one of those things. Like get around to it somewhere in the next generation of watching it. But I'm glad that it was thrown out there as a recommendation to motivate us to watch it because I'm 3 episodes in. And it's been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
So I think what we've decided thus far is we're going to split we're going to do a review of the show. We're going to do it for sure over the next 2 weeks. So we're going to review the first 5 episodes, get together, make shitty predictions, talk about characters, the awesome character development that goes on in this show and how much substance there is in it.
The cinematography.
Yeah, and then we're going to finish the show the following week and see if all of our predictions were right.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Al Pacino is the wolf.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, what am I going to do here?
So we got the next few weeks are chock full of good stuff here. So we got a couple of weeks of the Squid Game. And then we're going to do our final Megadeth podcast. We're going to talk about the last 5 Megadeth albums and recap
Jason's
that whole
excited
journey.
About that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. Y'all really love the last 5 albums.
No, but the good thing about that is that so that'll be with a friend of the show, Adrian, and
Adrian Aftershock.
Yep. So after that, Jason will be joining us on the Metalhead's journey. And we're going to be tackling Slayer and Anthrax, and Metallica. But obviously,
we're going to flip flop. So we'll do like Slayer, and then we'll do Anthrax. That way, because Jason, what you haven't gone through right now is the incredible amount of Megadeth fatigue that we've had of trying to jam pack 15 Megadeth albums over the last 15 weeks.
A little spoiler for the Metalheads podcast upcoming. Megadeth is good. I would say overall, I think I'm confident that I can say like Megadeth will make its way into my regular rotation. But listening to 15 albums of one band, any band, it wouldn't matter who it is, over the course of 15 weeks that we've been doing this, it becomes a little bit much when you get towards the end. So I've had to sprinkle in some other bands just to break things up because it's been a little tough.
Well, I think the good thing is I'm coming at this completely blind because I've never ever listened to an entire song start to finish of Slayer.
All right.
Oh well, hey Fossil, get ready to choke that down. So after our Megadeth pod, then we're gonna do something that's really fun for Halloween, where we're gonna do one of our classic movie showdowns. But this time
it's a triple threat.
It's a triple threat, exactly. We're gonna do the original Halloween movie versus the third Nightmare on Elm Street versus the sixth Friday the 13th.
And if you're wondering why we didn't do the first in all movies, first of all, go fuck yourself. This is our show.
That's right.
The real answer, though, is that we wanted to give every franchise its best chance. And so what we did is we just decided which ones were the best and not very scientific. We just decided, you know what, this one's the best. And I was just going to throw myself out here. I haven't seen, of the three, I've only seen the original Halloween. So this is going to be a first time experiencing the greatness ? That is Dream Warriors and Jason Lives.
I've never watched. I don't think I've actually ever watched Jason Lives. I've seen the original.
Oh shit!
I've seen
you motherfuckers are in for a treat.
All the Nightmare.
Yeah, and I convinced the wife. I don't know how. I convinced the wife to watch these three movies with me, even though she hates horror movies and scares her. But I convinced her to do it.
I'm going to try and get my wife to watch them. I doubt it.
I'm also going to attempt to pull that off. I mean, look, here's the good thing is Friday the 13th, Part 6, not exactly scary.
Just a lot of
more
killing.
Entertaining?
It's entertaining. Yeah.
See, that's why I think, even though the first Freddy Krueger is probably cinematically the best one, I think the third one is the most fun.
See, I like, of the Freddy series, I like the sixth one. I like Freddy's Dead. That's probably my favorite one, where he puts on the power glove and kills a guy in a video game.
Now, I did see Freddy versus Jason, so, I mean, I probably have seen the definitive Freddy and Jason movie, right, guys?
That's, totes my goats, man. It's like Alien versus Predator fucking Requiem.
All right.
Definitely the best of both.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it is. I also saw Jason. Me and the wife saw Jason X, like Jason in Space or whatever it is. We saw that in theaters when we first started dating.
Damn, bro. I've never even seen that. And I've seen a lot of those shitty movies, like Jason in fucking Manhattan.
I think I've seen Jason X, or at least half of it.
Yeah, he gets like a new mask. It's like it's like a Terminator metal mask or something. I only remember that because there's a part in the movie where there's these girls in sleeping bags, and he picks up the sleeping bags, like two of them, and just starts whacking them against trees. And
like,
I mean,
Loki style, like Incredible Hulk Loki style.
Yeah, but like you know, like comically bad. Anyway, that's it. That's my experience.
Also, for just to give everybody this little nugget, like I personally do not like horror flicks. They just don't do anything for me. The only ones I actually ever liked were the Freddy ones, and that was mostly because they were just more fun.
Yeah. So that's a quick glimpse into what the October is going to look like here for the Three Guys and a Mic podcast. So just want to give you guys a heads up so you can earmark some time for all this fucking badass content we got coming up.
Absolutely.
But tonight, we're moving on with the AFI list. We're going to the number 85 movie, A Night at the Opera.
Yep. All right. Well, Josh, do that tasty intro.
All right. Let me just cover up Dave's face.
Hey, hold on 2 seconds before you start that.
1, 2.
Oh,
Dave
shit.
does not count time.
Last time I counted 1-2 to somebody, he shit in his hand and threw it on the ground.
He did. That's a true story.
That is a true story.
You shouldn't have dared him.
Amen. I thought I won. I thought I beat that guy.
Yeah,
Turns out he was crazier than me.
Yep. This is what I'm talking about. Dave will call me, be like, "Hey, let me put you on hold for like 1 second. Somebody's ringing," and then literally 10 minutes later, I just hang up. He's a terrible, terrible timekeeper.
Nah, somebody's at my fucking door. It's like Amazon dropping off a fucking package this late at night, scaring the shit out of me.
Did you take the gun to the door? Make sure it wasn't Freddy Krueger?
Freddy the Krueger?
Yeah.
Freddy the Krueger.
Freddy
That's
the
his
Krueger?
name? That's his name?
Yes. Yep.
That's right.
All right, that's his new name.
That's right.
All right, Jason. I mean, Josh, whoever the fuck you are, do that intro. Who'd win in a fight, Wolverine versus Freddy Krueger?
Freddy the Krueger.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
All right.
Because he's in the dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it.
Hello, and welcome to Three Guys and a Mic presents a comprehensive review of the American Film Institute's top 100 films of all time. Number 85, A Night at the Opera. I'm your co-host, the Human Dart, along with
Jason Tsunami.
And David Disaster.
Hey.
What's
first
up,
try.
everybody?
Heyo.
We're like almost semi-professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're watching along on YouTube, you probably know that's definitely
It's
not the
definitely
case.
bullshit.
Hey, but you know
Yeah,
what? If you're listening to
absolutely.
this on, if you're listening to this on podcast form, hey, check out our YouTube page. All right. You know, you get to see a little
Every Saturday night, 8:45.
Ish.
Yeah, rough. It's
It depends on Dave.
we'll be on there around that time, but you'll peek behind the scenes, and might be some extra laughs for you. So check it
know.
out,
Yeah.
or it'll be really
not
boring.
Yeah, let me tell you what has no extra laughs.
What's that?
A
A Night at the Opera.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man. Listen, you guys ever heard of a little movie called Bringing Up Baby?
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is infinitely better than that, but still not great. Hey, you know what? Before we get too far into this, let's talk about what we're doing here. So, as you can tell from the title here, we're tackling the American Film Institute's top 100 films of all time. Yeah, and we're trying to tackle it from a lens of are these movies really as good as they say they are? Right? And we're really like, we're stupid people, so we're just trying to really rate this from an entertainment value. Are we entertained? Are we entertained?
Yep.
Okay. And that's the lens we're coming at this from. And we're up to the number 85 movie here. We're going in reverse.
Yeah.
Obvious.
Now, Josh, you got to tell them, because whenever we decided to do this, we figured, why just do it regular? Why not do it our way, the shitty way? Okay.
Yep.
So we created our own proprietary rating system, where
The shitometer.
the name of the game is, what is
How
it?
low can you go?
Yeah, lowest score possible.
That's it.
You want to be down. You want to be down in single digits. Yeah. Single digits, low numbers. That means a clean toilet bowl. You would lick that toilet bowl.
It's brand new.
With
right
your
out
own
the bag.
tongue, not with Dave's tongue. You would lick it with your tongue.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
So,
and then there's the bringing up baby side of the scale, where it's like a Golgothan shit demon is climbing out of that toilet to come kill you.
I mean, so I have all of our past scores. I'm not going to go over them. I'm just going to say this. When I'm looking at it, almost every score in here is some shade of green, right? Just because of the way this Excel spreadsheet is. But you know what's bright red? Bringing Up Baby. Because it is the worst score on here by a long shot. And just for reference, it's 87.7. That's our worst score that we've given out. And that's 16 points lower or higher, however you want to look at that, than the next one up. So
It's
that
not even close.
it's not. Yeah, Bringing Up Baby is absolutely like not a good movie if you're just talking about pure enjoyment factor. But we're going to talk about a movie like Josh said that's better than that. How much better? I guess we'll find out. Jason,
we're going to find out.
Yeah.
You going to do the synopsis?
I can try it. All right, so A Night at the Opera is a 1935 American film comedy by the Marx Brothers. Yeah, I know, just a few days ago.
Just like
it follows
100 years.
Yeah, it follows the chaos that is Mr. Driftwood, a wealth manager of sorts for a Miss Claypool. The movie follows the plight of Driftwood's attempt to raise Miss Claypool to aristocrat status. Driftwood's play is to move a big-time opera act to New York City and accredit Miss Claypool. Driftwood and Claypool, as well as the rest of this movie, are hijacked by two morons, the other two Marx Brothers, Chico and Harpo, who just create chaos that pretty much, it just pretty much fucks up this whole piece of shit movie. Around and centers around Driftwood, culminating in a boy gets girl story, a dickhead douchebag gets his just desserts, and everyone gets paid.
I'm going to be honest, Jason. I mean this 100%. I didn't truly understand the plot of the movie until you just laid it out right now.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. This movie is very strange in the way that it's presented.
So,
Dave, I know I brought this up before, but I really think we got to do this for the fourth annual Shitties. I think we have to include best recap for a Shitty award.
You know what? 100%.
I'm
actually sad. I'm actually sad that we didn't include that going forward. And you know what? I'm going to regret saying what I'm going to say, but I think I need to put this on record to force myself to do it. Whatever wins, I think I need to manually insert the recap into the podcast so that people can re-listen to how good whatever the winning recap is.
I agree.
I'm gonna hate doing that because that's gonna take work, and I don't like doing that. But I think I should. I owe it to Jason.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, that was the recap. Yeah, I'll say this.
All right.
To what Dave just said. It's light on plot.
It's not meant to be a plot-driven movie, though. Let's be fair.
Yeah. Let me hit a couple things real quick, then we'll dive into it. So, Night at the Opera, made in 1935. This movie was made for a budget of $1 million. I found conflicting information here as far as how much money this actually made at the box office. So, I found it from as low as $1,090,000 all the way up to $4 million. Which $4 million at that time would be the equivalent to $80 million today.
So it probably made its
pretty
money
robust. Back. It did. So everything I found, I didn't find anything that said it was a bomb by any means. So it definitely made a profit, but I just couldn't find the definitive answer on that.
Yeah.
This movie has won one award ever in its life. It was selected in 1993 for preservation in the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being a culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant feature.
Does it give specific reasoning for that, or is that's just it?
No, so I kind of had this later on, but I think it's a good time to talk about it now as any. Is so the Marx Brothers in general. So I think it has more to do with them. So I think where we struggle. So Dave, I don't, we bring this up because it's funny. But yeah, Yankee Doodle Dandy, right? That movie, I think, is on this list, obviously, because it's talking about Cohan and what he did on Broadway at that time, right? And we got to think back, and it's hard for us to put ourselves in this position, but if you think back to what was going on, he was making these plays in the 20s, right?
Yep.
What did you have to do in the 20s, right? There's no TV, there's no Twitter and fucking YouTube and all that shit, right? So he was a really big part of the consciousness, of the country at that time, which is why they made a movie about his life, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's the same thing right now. Is the Marx Brothers were huge.
They were
This movie was like the number one grossing movie in 1935.
Huge.
Their other movies are all like top 5 grossing movies in the years that they came out.
Just because, I mean, this is
so,
what you
like,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they were a really big vaudeville act that transitioned into features.
And this was their first like attempt at an actual movie. The prior movies that they had made like 5 prior movies that were all like slapstick.
Yeah, so the way they're described is all very chaotic, right? So they made all these feature films for with Paramount, I think it was, and so then they signed a new contract. I want to say it's with Warner's or MGM, yeah, with this. And so this is the first film in a different direction for the Marx Brothers, where the idea now is, before it was like Marx Brothers versus everybody. Like they were just fucking like rolling on everybody and crack on everybody. Now everything they do is to the benefit of somebody. So like in this movie, they're trying to get, again, I can't remember the goddamn name. Ricardo. Yeah. Trying to get Ricardo hooked up with old girl.
Rosa.
Like that.
Fine
Rosa, there you go. Fine ass Rosa. So that's like the name of the game for the movie, right? Is that's what they're trying to do. And then they're fitting their Marx Brothers-ness in with that.
Yeah. I kind of just...
So why is it selected? I think it's just generally regarded as their first or second best movie. I think we have another movie coming up by them somewhere on this list called Duck Soup.
Yeah.
Which is... It's an earlier movie, so it's one that took place before they changed direction. So I'm kind of interested to see that one, because I would tell you, I was surprised by which Marx brother is the one that wears the fake mustache.
That's Groucho.
Groucho. Man, I was pleasantly surprised by like how witty he was, and then like how hard some of these digs were towards a lot of the people in the show. So I'm interested in seeing some of these previous ones to see, before they lightened up a little bit.
Yeah, Duck Soup is significantly higher on the list. It's at 60. So.
Oh, we got a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually, Josh, you had mentioned that this was like, this is like a more serious attempt at an actual movie. I mentioned this to Jason earlier after I had finished it, before he watched it. I was like, the movie, I was like, basically, if you remove the Marx Brothers from this movie, it's just a typical kind of romantic drama. They're just in it.
They're the comedy.
Yeah, that they're just the comedy relief. But it's like they are the majority of the movie. It's like, instead of most romantic comedies where the comedy is just used to like kind of help it, it's like the reverse ratio, right? Like there's just enough drama in the background as the driving force, and then the rest of it is just a comedy.
Yeah.
But I guess shitometer scores. We want to talk about it.
I think I'm going to have the worst score, so I'll just go first. So you guys can lower it. Overall, this movie's not. It's not terrible. No. You can watch it. You're not sitting there just wishing that you were dead. This is not. It's not Bringing Up Baby. It's not whatever that other fucking movie that we all hated.
Swing Time.
Sophie's Choice.
Sophie's.
Yeah.
And so you can get through this movie. The issues that I had, and I just didn't find it funny. I got some, you get the jokes. They come at you pretty quickly. But I laughed twice in the whole movie. My favorite joke was when he said, hey, you got $5? Or 2 $5 bills? And he was like, yeah, well then good. You won't need this dime I was going to give you.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the other one. There's something about Canadians, quadruplets or something. I don't remember. But I just, I didn't get entertained from this movie. It's just, I think the comedy is too old for me to get into, and the movie lacked a lot of storytelling devices that I usually gravitate towards to pull me in. So I gave it a 61.
I'll go next. So my score, I rated it better than Jason. So I'm not gonna actually. I'm gonna kind of disagree with Jason a little bit here. I overall thought the movie was pleasant. Josh, you sent a warning text, and you let us know like, hey, turn your brains off when you watch this movie. And so I did try to do that, right? I tried to just go in blind and just kind of try my best to turn my brain off and just enjoy the movie what it is, right? So I did that. And I'll talk about my favorite scene. Really will represent that. But overall, I would say I liked the movie. I mean, I didn't laugh out loud or anything. This ain't Tropic Thunder, but I gave it a 46. I thought I would recommend the movie. Now my rating is reflective of some of what Jason said. Like it's not laugh out loud funny to me. And so because of that, I can't really recommend it any higher than that. But it is an hour and a half, and the movie was fine. Like, I would watch it again if somebody made me.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't hate myself.
Yeah. Look,
I think going back to what we were talking about earlier is, I think the opera was a really big thing at this time, right? So I think that's why you probably get a lot of popularity from this movie as well. Which is another reason why we probably don't really grasp it. We're not understanding.
I assume that those singers in that movie were probably a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm more along the lines here with Jason. Look, I thought the movie was okay. I didn't laugh a ton. I don't really get it as much as a lot of the reviews that I read online. So it's kind of funny, actually, Fossil. I scored this a 62.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right. So
Dave, you're the loser.
I'm not the loser.
You're the biggest.
Anyway, so that brings our overall score to a 56.3. So overall, between the three of us, that's going to be a no-go on a recommendation. But I will say this: generally speaking, if it's in the 50s.
Okay, so what was the final aggregate?
I said 56.3.
Good. It's just a little bit worse than Swing Time, which is about where I thought it would be.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Yeah, I actually disagree with
that.
So
it begs the question here: is does this movie belong on the list?
Okay, I have a two-part question that I'm going to ask.
I ask the questions around here, Jason.
And I'm going to say, no, it doesn't. But my thing is, okay, so I know we don't usually say this, but do you even... It doesn't deserve to be on the list, but why the fuck is it on the list? Like, we kind of talked about it a little bit as far as some kind of historical value, but it was put on that list in 1999 or 2013 or something.
So it was not on the original list. It was later added to the 10-year anniversary edition list. So the list that we're doing, it's on there, but the original list that was made, it was not included.
Interesting.
So why does it go from being a nominee to 15 spots better? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Jason. I don't think this movie belongs on the list. Personally, it would certainly not be on my top 100 list. But, I mean, again, it's hard for us to put ourselves in a position to really understand how impactful the Marx Brothers were. Like, they were, and just doing some research on the Marx Brothers, they're yeah, I mean, they're the equivalent to, insert the biggest actor in the world right now. Like, if Tom Hanks does a movie, right? Like, he's going to move the needle because he's Tom Hanks. You're going to go see it because he's in it, or Denzel.
Yeah.
Like, they were that. Like, if you go back, they did there was a list of somebody put together like the top 25 actors or top 50 actors of whatever time frame. They were the only group that was on there. Like, they were so important that they were added on there as a top 50 actor. So, I get why it's there. I don't personally think it should be on the list, but that's why they're on the list, is because of how impactful the Marx Brothers were, and is how popular they were.
So I agree with you guys, even though I rated it technically a recommendation. The movie itself is fine to me.
Yeah.
But does it belong on the 100 greatest American films of all time? Absolutely not. Like, it's in my opinion, again, we're trying to look at these movies
in your expert opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to look at these movies in a vacuum, right? Like just forgetting all of the historical stuff. Like, how enjoyable is this movie? Like, it's not a top 100 movie of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
No. But
hey, look,
definitely not.
The fact that Groucho Marx net worth is still $12 million, even though he's been dead for 40 years, tells you how big of a deal he was.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
I'll take that.
Yeah. So, best scene.
I think there's one obvious choice here for me, and that's the stateroom scene where they cram everybody into that small ass little room on the boat.
That was my pick as well.
Yeah, I think that's easily, without a doubt, the funniest part of the entire movie.
It's unfortunate that it happens relatively early in the movie too.
Okay, so I got a little tidbit for the stateroom scene.
All right.
So now, I don't know how the rest of them played out. I don't know exactly how they piecemealed this together. But this scene specifically was written primarily by legendary gag man Al Boasberg.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, famously eccentric. Boasberg typed up the finished scene, then shredded the pages into thin pieces and tacked them to the ceiling. It took the Marx Brothers hours to cut and paste the scene back together so they could use it.
Wait, why did he do that?
All right.
Because he was an eccentric, a legendary gag man, Dave. I would have walked in there and been like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go somewhere."
All right, we're doing it. We're doing a different scene.
Yeah.
So just to kind of set the scene for you, first and foremost, it's dark.
It is dark.
No, so essentially the scene takes place there in a very small stateroom on a boat, and
a closet. You mean?
If you think about any cartoon or anything like that you've ever seen, where they're trying to cram an unlimited amount of characters into a phone booth, it's basically this, but in human form. So you have 2 engineers, you have 3 waiters, you have a lady showing up to do a manicure.
Yeah.
You have a cleaning lady in there to mop the floors.
Yeah.
You have a couple of guys that stowed away.
You have a mechanic.
I mean, it's an unbelievable.
Dude, when the lady comes with the mop, Groucho's like, "Why don't you stand in the ceiling? There's nobody. There's no. That's the only place with room right now." And then the
Uh,
other person, the mechanic shows up and he's like,
you're just the person I was looking for. Come on in." It's like, dude, and then the food shows up. He's like, "Oh yeah, come on in. I'm really hungry." And then fucking
Dude, okay.
Tommaso.
How many fucking hard-boiled eggs did they order?
Like a dozen.
Tommaso is asleep, and he gets fucking put on top of the food, and it's just a goddamn mess, dude. Like that,
bro. If you ever watch this again, I want you just to watch that scene, and you tell me how much is he feeling up that cleaning lady he's just draped all over.
No, you're talking about you're talking about the manicurist.
No, whoever it was, the people that were in there to change the sheets.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I was really watching Groucho the whole time.
Oh, I forgot about those girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, there was everybody.
Yeah.
This fucking room had everybody in it. Plus a trunk that was the size of the room as well.
When Harpo comes off the trays, they lay him on top of the back of one of the ladies who's trying to change his bed. And there is no doubt that this man is just groping the shit out of this.
Dude, so speaking of the trunk...
I remember what you're talking about, but I don't remember seeing him feel anybody up. I remember what you're talking about.
Speaking of the trunk, Josh, so whenever the guy is bringing him to his room and showing it to him for the first time...
riding it.
Dude, and then he puts the trunk in there, and he's like, "This is my room?" He goes, You should have put me in. You should have put me in there first. Tomorrow you're gonna have to pull out the room so I can go in. and then it's like whenever he opens the fucking trunk, and these two people in there. He goes, I had a suit in there. What'd you do with it? Well, there's no room, so we had to sell it. How much you get for it? $1.30. Sounds like my suit.
And he goes, well, I got a shirt you can borrow. And they open the drawer, and it's Harpo in the bottom.
Just like, fucking sleep in a fetus position. He goes, I don't remember my shirt snoring. Can't be mine.
Oh, God.
Dude, I don't know how y'all rated this movie this low. Come on. Y'all are laughing at these jokes.
Oh, man. The only other scene I had that I really enjoyed was after everybody gets off the boat and they've done the whole gimmick where they have to like paste on the beards, and they go to Harpo to fucking start talking, and obviously his gimmick is he doesn't talk. He drinks an endless amount of water and his fucking beard just fades off. Like that was pretty funny.
And then he kisses old boy, and then the beard
and
just
the whole
goes
beard
on
transfers
him.
the beard.
Yeah. Dude, that shit.
What's the worst scene?
We don't do worst.
The rest of the movie.
I feel like the best scene turned into the worst scene because
Fossils over here creating his own categories.
I know, dude. We don't even do worst scene.
It feels like they wasted this opportunity on like one take, and that's where the sheriff or whoever it shows up to Groucho's Driftwood's apartment or wherever he's staying. No. And
where they're moving the beds around and stuff? Yeah,
he's going from one room to the next, and they're moving the beds, so they move one whole room to the room next to it. The problem is that as the sheriff is obviously right there, they're dropping dishes and shit all over the ground.
Dude, that's so good.
No, it's just so stupid because he's like, wait a minute, how did this get in here? And he's like, dude, I can see you
it's supposed to be stupid, Jason.
No.
Dude, all right. Hold on. You're mad about that.
Dave.
But then there's a part in there where fucking one of the Marx Brothers is he's holding the bed and the guy turns his hand to open the door.
Oh, he turns the knob.
Yeah, I agree. Like that for me.
All right, Dave.
That scene should have been the best one, and instead it was the worst.
Dude, I was not the worst.
Change my score to a 52.
All right.
Now it's better than Swing Time.
Yeah, and it's now a 53.
It's not. It's not better than Yankee Doodle Dandy right now, is it?
It is 1% worse.
Perfect. We're good.
Okay.
All right.
If it was better than Yankee, I was going to go back and make it like an 80.
Jesus.
All right. Favorite characters.
For me, it's a no-brainer. It's Groucho. I know that's the actor's name or whatever, but I mean, for me, yeah,
Mr. Driftwood.
Is that the low-hanging
Mr.
fruit?
Driftwood, yeah,
for sure. But I mean, he steals every scene that he's in. I mean, his one-liners, his quick wit. I mean, yeah, I think he's rock solid.
I went with Tommaso, the mute. Look, man, this guy's a straight up fucking murderer. All right,
he is.
Like he is smashing this fucking baritone or no, this tenor. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get his name.
Are you talking about Gottlieb?
Yeah, dude. I'm talking about Laspari.
Yeah.
Dude, he fucking caved in Laspari's head with a fucking mallet twice. And then he drops a fucking sandbag from the ceiling. He's a straight murderer.
Probably 30, 40
but does he also he also hits Gottlieb a bunch of times too.
Yeah, he does. Like, this dude is like, he's a killer.
Doesn't he at one point throw a big ass, thick ass book up in the air and it just fucking lands on Gottlieb's head?
Yeah.
Oh, did those guys that were tied up, those guys that originally had the beards, did they ever get free, or are they still there to this day?
Probably dead in that ship.
They're still down in Florida with that dead family from Hunters.
I mean, actually,
that's a deep Titanic. Cut. That's a deep cut.
It had the Germans in below deck eating and drinking.
All right. What else? Who's your favorite character, Jason? Did you say already?
I mean, it's Groucho. If I was gonna go somebody beyond that, I'd go Ricky Ricardo, whatever his name was.
That's a totally different show.
Ricardo.
It is a different one, but it is Ricardo, isn't it?
It is Ricardo. Yeah, Ricardo.
Yeah,
Barone.
it is Ricardo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Sounded like we all agreed on Tommaso as the Roy Batty Award for overacting.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Now I will say this:
all right,
the dude can play a mean ass fucking piano or harp.
Look, hey,
and harp. Yeah,
so
like
while we're going into
there was some talent there.
Least favorite character, he's also my least favorite, but it's just because I found him the least funny. But I will say this about him and the other Marx brother. I don't know about Groucho because he didn't do anything.
Harpo.
Extremely talented
Chico.
musicians.
Yeah.
Dude, they were.
That dude they both tore it up on the piano, and Harpo tore it up on the harp.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they were I'm pretty sure they were playing those instruments, right? Like that was legitimate. Like because they were vaudeville actors.
So.
It was CGI, dude.
Yeah. I agree that they were legitimately playing. So Fossil, you're going with Tommaso as your least favorite?
Absolutely.
Mine is Gottlieb. Fuck that dude.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean
I had Laspari.
I mean Gottlieb's he's firing.
He's my second choice.
He's firing Groucho. I mean, yeah, granted, Groucho was a terrible employee. The dude took 6 months of his pay ahead of time.
Dude, can somebody explain to me how this man ever got into the position that he was in? He is
Groucho?
Terrible. Yes, he's terrible at this job. He's a wealth manager. And everybody knows him. You get the impression in the very beginning, like everybody knows him, everybody respects him, everybody loves him, but he's terrible.
I mean, dude, he has a painted on mustache and painted on eyebrows. I mean, that should have been your first sign.
Oh, man.
I mean,
that mustache is straight butt.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know why though. It just worked. It just worked. Though.
I always thought it was real
until you saw this movie.
Until I saw this movie. Yeah,
I agree. Same thing, Jason. Same thing. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like
when you see it in cartoons,
shit on.
Yeah, when you see it in cartoons, like where they're making fun of him, it just looks like a bushy mustache, and you're like, well, okay, it can't be like that bad. And then I saw this movie, and I was like, it's not even real. It's like half his fucking face is painted.
Yeah.
Dude, and he did he ever even take a puff of that cigar? I don't think so.
No.
I don't know.
I have I mean in transitioning to age poorly, I had his mustache as aging poorly. It was couldn't we at least just get like a fucking bushy mustache or something?
I mean they had here's the crazy part. They had fake beards. So you
obviously.
Yeah. I don't know I don't know how that became his stick. But whatever.
He's like, "Hey, Toots."
Yeah.
I also had his mustache.
For me. Oh yeah, his mustache.
Yeah.
The other thing I had for age poorly was the contract scene.
Oh, where they're reading the contract and tearing out pieces of it?
I went back and I timed this scene, okay? It was a 3.5 minute bit.
It was awful.
About signing a contract, which when you go back and you read about it, this is like a masterpiece comedic bit.
Oh, I know.
For a lot of people. And, man, it was so fucking cringy for me. Like, I hated every second of this bit. I thought that was the absolute worst part of the movie.
I can't believe it. They stretched it that long.
3.5 minutes.
It was.
I mean, I much more enjoyed the ongoing hard-boiled egg gimmick than the contract skit. That was shitty.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back at the very end of the movie. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, not this again.
Yeah. Fossil, do you have anything else that aged poorly?
I mean, look, I don't mean this to be like just to shit on a movie or nothing, but for me, the entire movie ages poorly. And look, it's again, I'm not taking a dump on the movie. It's just like, it's just not me. Like, I just don't get the comedy. It's just, the movie is a timepiece, and like for me, that this timepiece did not age well for me personally. That, like I said, I get the bits. That I can understand like back then that this was probably the fucking hilarious shit, and there was people in there just slapping their knees like crazy. But it didn't work for me.
Yeah, it didn't work for you. It didn't work for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It leaves more movie for me. Aged well. Dude, I legitimately think Groucho's like type of comedy, not necessarily all of what he said, but like, this is going to sound stupid, but like, if he would have been born in today's time, like that would still work.
He reminds me of the Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
His comedy style.
Oh, dude, like Josh said it earlier, like he just, obviously I know this is written, but like just he's so quick-witted, like so like, and I almost loved how dry it was. Like he was so serious on some of his stuff. I think we said it in the YouTube thing, but it's like you got 10 minutes. I'll be back in 11. Like it's like like I don't know. It shit was just so good, and it's so weird because I only knew before this of Groucho Marx from whenever fucking Bugs Bunny would pretend to be Groucho Marx. And so now I feel like the next time I watch Looney Tunes and I see inevitably one of the characters turn into Groucho, or like Groucho will walk on the screen, I might pop a little bit. I'm like, oh, I know where that's from. But overall, I think not the joke specifically, just the comedic timing of the movie, I think ages well.
Yeah, that's the same thing I had. Is just Groucho. I know I didn't pick him for my best character, but I mean he's the best part of the movie for sure.
Oh, I agree. As far as like aged well, if you're into opera, I'm sure that aged well too, because they probably sing it the same way. But his comedy style would do well still. I don't know how he would deal with all subjects that are kind of like up in the air right now, but I think he could get away with it.
So before we move on to
the other part I had was just actually having like a good female lead in the movie.
Yeah.
As we've done some of these other movies, we've realized that like there's not a ton of good female parts. I mean, there's 2 full movies in our last group of 5 that didn't even have a female person in it, except for the lady who got shot in Platoon.
Yeah.
So it's like it's good to see at least a good female lead in this. It's entertaining.
Correct.
So before we go into rewatchable, I don't know that we're gonna have the opportunity to do this a lot or ever, but because we've seen A Night at the Opera and we talked about it earlier, we're gonna have another movie with essentially the same cast, or most of the same cast, presumably, in Duck Soup, right? Does this movie make you more or less excited to see Duck Soup?
I'm generally, I'd say I'm probably more excited. At least I know it's going to be edgier than this movie because it was some of their earlier work, and just kind of seeing their shtick and knowing that I don't hate it right now. I would say I'm pretty excited to see that movie.
I would say that I'm more excited to see Duck Soup only because, to what Josh said, this movie didn't do it for me. If we're going to fall back on more, I wouldn't say like more of the zany, I can tolerate that more because it is what it is at face value. You don't have to put too much realism in. It's like watching, Charlie Chaplin or Green Hill or something.
Yeah. Now the interesting part about that is I just thought about this right now, but we average, it's not quite, but we average around 25 movies a year on this project. So because Duck Soup is number 60, we might have a 1-year anniversary of the Marx Brothers. So sometime probably in October of next year, we'll be able to kind of see how that is. So
I don't know how many more movies we're doing for the rest of the year. Now that we got all these TV shows coming up, we're going to be behind.
But I think we're going to have a big gap. That's what she said. Next year, because we'll have these shows in November, December, and January.
Yeah. So we'll catch up. But I guess moving on to rewatchable.
Is that what Daddy Tomato said to the baby tomato?
Yeah, catch up.
Boom.
I'll start. Rewatchable for me, I would say yes. Now, I wouldn't watch it by myself, like just voluntarily. But if somebody wanted to watch it that hadn't seen it, I would be fine with rewatching it. There's a couple of scenes that I would probably giggle at or whatever.
I'd probably try to talk somebody out of watching it, so it's not rewatchable for me.
I'm thinking in my head right now is I will probably rewatch this movie next time whenever we get to Duck Soup. I would probably rewatch it then, and that would be the only other time I would ever rewatch it. So I would say, in general, no, it's not rewatchable for me.
Okay.
Minus one instance.
All right. Well, so, I mean, overall, again, just a quick update because it's a little different. It changed mid-podcast. First time ever, I think. So overall, 53. So that's kind of in that gray area of, we don't recommend it, but if you're if you are into the Marx Brothers or this era of comedy or this era of film, then first of all, you probably are going to watch it either way. But I would say you'll probably enjoy it if you're into that era or have any interest in the Marx Brothers. Then you'll probably enjoy it. For us, though, for the everyman, there's probably better stuff out there for sure.
Yep.
Like watching paint dry.
Jesus, I mean, come on now. That's a little bit much.
I just.
All right. Well, if you've made it this far and you didn't check us out on YouTube, you know that we got a pretty full slate of stuff coming your way in October. We're not doing another AFI movie for the rest of this month, so we'll probably pick this thing back up maybe early November. But we do have coming up next couple of weeks. We're going to be doing a review of the Netflix series Squid Game.
That's right.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the first 5 episodes next week, and then we're going to finish it off the following week. So if you want to play along, then go ahead and start watching.
Yeah.
Squid, like the animal, game.
Now,
if you've never heard of it, it's okay.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it either.
At the time of this recording, it's the #1 show on Netflix trending right now. And if all you want to know is should you watch it, because we've seen several episodes already, I would say yes, go watch it. If you're into some violence and stuff like that, and some kind of it's a different type of show, but I would say go watch
shout it. Shout out the guy who pushed this in this direction.
Jonah.
Yeah, so shout out Jonah. He gave a friend of the show. He recommended that we review it. So thank you for that recommendation.
We're going to do it.
We should give last name nicknames to the people who request stuff.
Oh, yeah, we'll figure that out.
Just for shits.
Yeah, Jonah, he was the warlock that quit on us in World of Warcraft, so he can be Jonah, warlock who quits.
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and call out his WoW character name because I just remembered it. It's Iris O'Mech.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Yeah, all he did was Magmaw with us, and then he quit.
Yeah.
The Gil quit.
Yeah, terrible warlock, or whatever tune he played. But good recommendation of a TV show. Good job.
And you know what? He was a good ARA, so I'll give him that too.
There you go.
Fair enough. All right. Well, until next week when we talk about Squid Game.
Later.
Live long and prosper.
Take it easy, everybody.